second greatest thing.
All right, I guess. And we are live.
Welcome, everybody, to CNC Bros' post E3 show. We haven't posted any links for anybody to come out to this podcast, I just realized. E3 was this week. Started Saturday, ended yesterday. We've already covered post conferences for Microsoft and Ubisoft, I think. And here we are covering Bethesda, the PC show, Sony, and Nintendo, all in one. And we got a lot to talk about.
Bethesda, though?
We kind of do, though. It's worth mentioning.
Is it?
It is.
Todd Howard low-key to go for what he did. Like, just his presentation.
He threw his money at an Alexa remake or demake of Skyrim and then released it.
That was literally the only great thing about Bethesda's conference.
He literally made a troll go too far. He memed too hard. Now it's a thing. And I think he killed the meme, though. I think that was what he wanted to do, was actually kill the meme by making it not funny.
They're just gonna want more.
Is it free? It is free.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah. It's literally a D&D game. But that being said, I forgot about the Square Enix conference, and all I have to say about that conference at the moment, is that I'll never forgive the Japanese, ever.
Oh, you'll be fine.
But that was a JoJo's reference. There you go. Put that in your book. Anyway, so Bethesda, what do we get out of that? Fallout 76, a few mobile games that don't.
Let's see. We got Elder Scrolls Blades. They put Fallout Shelter on the Switch. We got. Let me roll back up. More stuff on Quake Champions. I think Prey DLC. Wolfenstein Youngblood, Wolfenstein Cyberpilot, which is a VR experience. More talk on Fallout 76. Starfield, whatever the heck that is. Doom Eternal.
With Star Fox now.
No. That's Starlink. That's Starlink Clash for Atlas. That's a Ubisoft game.
All right.
Let's see. More expansions for ESO. We opened up with Rage 2.
Rage 2 looks confusing. I don't know what that is.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Elder Scrolls 6, as hype as it makes people, is like... This is like what they did with Kingdom Hearts 3. They announced it, and we won't see it again for years.
Okay. 1?
No. Not just
no.
one.
No. I said 1 because I'm counting every time you say Kingdom Hearts 3 in this podcast.
All right, cool. Now I'm self-conscious. But no, that's not coming back until next gen, I don't think.
Mm.
And that hasn't been confirmed, but we do know that they are working on next-gen games. So that means that the plans are out there, obviously. We already figured that, so...
Because Microsoft realized they wet the bed and already started development on the newest console under the project name Scarlet.
And then we don't know anything about the PS5, but we can assume that dev kits have been sent out.
Maybe.
Holy shit, cat. I'm sorry, I'm home alone, and then my cat decides that he wants to, like, ring my doorknob when the door's locked, and it scared the shit out of me.
Your parents aren't home.
I'm coming over. Vroom, vroom. Anyway.
Dante.
But just... We had an okay conference from Bethesda in the sense of games shown and amount of, like, quality content. But the conference itself is weird as hell. Like, who did they have as the frontliner for the music session? The guy that was on
Bethesda?
Cartoon Network? Yeah.
Andrew WK.
Yeah, wasn't he like an ad guy for like Cartoon Network for a long time?
He was the host of Destroy, Build, Destroy.
Oh God, nope. See, nope. Nope. See,
I was like, I've seen him before. He always wears that T-shirt. And then he made that party song that is on Hellsing Abridged. That apparently is popular as a meme.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was a weird conference. And then Todd Howard came out and was just like, "I have money and status. I am the meme.
He was like, "Hey, you guys like Skyrim?"
You like being degenerates?"
He did call them degenerates.
He did, with a look of glee in his face. But anyway, we got a spoof Skyrim game that is actually a legitimate Skyrim game. And then we got Fallout 76, which actually seemed
That
interesting.
spoof looked like it was kind of legit. I would have played that. I would have played that over Skyrim.
What was?
The Alexa one? I would have played that over Skyrim.
You would have played it for 10 minutes and then never picked
No,
it
I
up
wouldn't.
again.
I would have played that for real. I would have played that over actually playing Skyrim.
Shelly,
I think the novelty of it is interesting. So I
Yes,
like.
that's what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say I like half belief.
I just want to know how complex the commands are. Because you're getting into like typing games where you just type in like commands on the Commodore 64.
Honestly, it's got to have like a mean scripting process. So you probably put about as much work into that as they actually put into Skyrim.
But Fallout 76 in concept to me, because I don't play any Fallout games, I never have, probably will never do it, seems pretty neat, except for the fact that it's basically Metal Gear Online with the Phantom Pain, with the nukes. But anybody can find launch codes and actually ruin your life.
Oh yeah, we saw it and I was like, oh hey, look, it's MGO.
Like, as soon as they talked about the nukes, I was like, all right, where have I seen this before? That's cool.
Yeah.
But it looks fun. The concept's neat, and I would be interested to see what people do with it, because as an online community, an experience like that, where they basically just give you a format and let you run wild with it, it seems pretty good. But I think the lack of... I won't say the lack of, because I obviously don't know like how much story content is actually going to be in the game that's like can prolong its life cycle for single player, because you can do single player, right?
You can play by yourself, but other people will still be there.
Right. Hold on, I gotta tell my cat to fuck off.
Be nice to the kitty.
Talk amongst yourselves while I get it away from scratching my door.
Why even get a cat if you're just gonna tell it to fuck off?
Honestly, that's kind of, it comes with the package.
All right, but let's all agree that Fallout is trash. Fallout's overrated.
The people who dig it.
Lord,
right, I'm back.
I was watching Nathan play Fallout 4, and I almost went to sleep.
Well, see,
I'm pretty sure Nathan was falling asleep.
See, you watching Nathan do stuff.
Jessica, back in the day, that was like her game. She played that for hours. But that's about it. I never really watched her because I was bored as shit.
Yeah, but she seems like she likes Bethesda games.
She does. She does.
Yeah, she likes Skyrim, and not the good one. Not the good one on Alexa. The one on PS3.
I watched Drew play through some Fallout. He is a strong advocate for New Vegas, which being done by Obsidian, like, I mean, it's still Fallout, but it had a different feel to it. So
I appreciate what they're doing with that series. It's not for me, and obviously I'm not the target fan base, so I'll be interested to see where they take it and where the community takes it, because this is one of those unique experiences, like I said, where it's like, here's your sandbox. We're going to create the servers and make them dedicated. You do what you want with your experience.
no server.
Oh, you're right. But what
So water though.
Tokyo
Otomare.
Yeah. I like stopped halfway through, and then I was like looking at my still screen of your name that I'm watching currently, and I like lost my train of thought.
Boy, you need to focus.
But no, that was it for Bethesda. Like, they ended with did they announce Elder Scrolls 6 at the end of the conference, or did that like happen right after?
it was at the end of Todd Howard's segment, but after Todd Howard, he dished it back to somebody else because Todd Howard revealed it and he was like, Elder Scrolls 6, all right, I'm going to bed, bye. And that was it.
Yep, that makes sense.
And then whoever was on before him, whose name I can't remember, I think it was Homeboy from id Software. He helped close it out.
Well, that was it for Bethesda. We talked about. Did we talk about Ubisoft? No, we didn't.
It's coming up.
Talk about Ubisoft.
It's coming up. I'm looking at a list.
I mean, doesn't Ubisoft just announce the same thing every year? Assassin's Creed, Just Dance,
Watch Dogs,
do something with Usher.
But yes, with Usher. But yeah, again, like Wikipedia's got them like listed down in order or whatever. So it's like Bethesda, Devolver, Square, Limited Run Games. I have no idea who they are. Ubisoft, PC Gaming, Sony, then Nintendo.
Well, we'll go ahead and we'll move to Square and just talk about that, and we'll take Kingdom Hearts 3 and just move that to Sony.
That's 2.
All right, fine.
I'm gonna skip Devolver.
Oh wait! I actually do want to talk about Assassin's Creed though.
Yeah, let's get
I just want to talk about how gay I can be.
They brought back Metal Wolf Chaos. Come on now.
I don't know what that is.
We're also getting another battle royale game called Scum.
What game is that?
Is it called Skunk?
Scum.
Oh.
What?
Well, that's much less entertaining.
So what?
Is this Kakashi the mascot or something?
Maybe.
That was a really stretched reference, and I liked it.
Oh, you're welcome.
But no, Square Enix had interesting titles, but they didn't have anything that we wanted to see besides Kingdom Hearts.
That's 3.
I know I said Kingdom Hearts. I didn't say Kingdom Hearts 3.
No, I'm counting it.
So,
also, that's 4.
So stop that. That's gonna get old real fast.
It's not meant to be funny.
Are you guys on IGN?
No,
I'm not. What's up?
I just went on there. It's like 38 minutes ago. Yes, Metroid Prime 4 is still in development.
We knew that.
I never thought it was out of development.
Were people that freaked out that it wasn't shown?
Well, the last time they showed it, it was just a JPEG, and they hadn't even started working on the game.
I'll explain that when we get there. Go ahead.
But yeah, let's talk about Assassin's Creed for a bit, because they can do large-scale battles now, which that's really fun and interesting. I would be interested to see how that plays out, and if it looks fun, then I'll buy it.
What game is that?
Assassin's Creed. Odyssey.
Assassin's Creed.
You can be gay.
You cannot get me to buy another Assassin's Creed game. I'm so sad that I bought Syndicate. I played like 30 minutes of it and I got so bored. I hate the combat. It's too clunky.
Well, Shelly, you can buy this one and it won't be as clunky.
Yeah, it will be.
Or you can wait until Origins goes on super sale.
Have they made a new engine for Assassin's Creed yet?
I think they just kept polishing the current one.
Yeah, that's what they just keep doing. Come back when it's new.
Didn't Origins have a new engine?
I think no. Well, here, I'm at a computer. I can answer your questions. Continue talking about what you're talking about.
But no, I really didn't pay attention to the Ubisoft conference, so I don't know the details of what I missed. All I know is that Assassin's Creed, you can choose between a man or a woman,
Jesus
and that ends the debate of like women are harder to animate, so we didn't put them in, which is kind of shitty at the time.
Y'all, we make a horrible news outlet.
Of course we do. I didn't pay attention to it,
one,
so I'm not reporting on it as much as I should.
In the last one, were you able to choose?
No.
But
could you even romance in the last one?
No. I don't think you've been able to romance in any of them.
Yeah.
You just had side quests that like maybe got you a titty or two.
I mean, you had it canonical in early games, but that's because you're fooling with people's families. Like,
yeah,
they gotta screw somebody to have descendants.
Now it's just like, let's plug you into any old random Joe. Is there even still like an overarching plot of Assassin's Creed anymore?
Yeah.
Yes, it happens throughout a series of like phone calls and emails outside of the Animus, from what I'm told in Origins. But I guess it's you find out everything in like phone calls and emails. Like I don't even know if there's a lot of interaction like there was from a 3 on back, or even in 4, because 4 you still had a good little bit.
I'm always confused about the whole Animus thing. Is the real world in danger, or are you?
It was at one point. There was like a comet coming or some bullshit, and then they killed what's his name?
Desmond.
Yeah, they killed Desmond in 3, and I was just like, I can't follow this anymore because I don't understand it. Like,
I mean, you're doing make believe. I don't, because you're not going back in actual time.
It's crazy because they had.
I feel like you're just Johnny questing this bitch.
They had something going, and then they just kind of dropped it and never.
No. You're Code Lyoko-ing this.
They had like an entire anime arc planned, and then they just made a spinoff.
Yeah, they just kind of dropped it. Like I wasn't even defending it. I was just like I don't know what they're doing. They made some kind of nod or like tie back to Abstergo in like Watch Dogs, but it's Watch Dogs.
If you reference Watch Dogs, like your game failed.
Well, no, it doesn't reference Watch Dogs. It's the other way around. Watch Dogs references it.
Either or.
To answer the earlier question, the games use an updated version of an engine that's been in place since Black Flag onward.
Okay.
Exactly.
So God, that's like
Black
Flag, Unity, Syndicate.
Just so you know, Brian, that original engine was designed on PS3.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Okay. But anyway, like the actual game doesn't look half bad. It's interesting and it's a new direction.
Mm-hmm.
And Assassin's Creed has its fans. Like I'm interested in the whole full-scale battle thing because that's always been like my like power fantasy. Ever since I played like Lord of the Rings games on PS2, and those large-scale fights, like those are the coolest thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I love
full-scale battle. What do you mean?
Where I say like large scale in the sense that like there's a shit ton of NPCs like fighting on screen, and you can interact with them, and it's an actual like it's like
so Batman.
No, so the best comparison I can give is Shadow of War, right? They have fortress system where it's like you have to either attack with a full scale army on a fortress that has its own full scale army. Or you're defending it, and participating in those kinds of battles is like my favorite thing about like games that are really hack and slash, like the Batman or Shadow of War or something like that. I enjoy things like that, especially in a fantasy setting. So Assassin's Creed kind of gives me that setting and that scenario where you are in a large scale battle in ancient Greece. I just need to see how it plays out and if it's actually fluid, enjoyable. And immersive, and rightly balanced, or else I'm not going to bother with it. If it's something that's super clunky and it's just like a giant mob fight that you really don't have any influence in,
Ubisoft.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if it's just like a giant glorified mob fight that's not like super interactive, and it's just like kill as many people as you can to like make this meter go down, and then when it's gone, you kill everybody. Like, yay! Like that's not fun to me. Like. I need Shadow of War got the closest to what I think personally what I want out of a game like that, where you have like an active role and how a battle turns out. But Shadow of War did it wrong in the sense that like you pretty much are the only reason the tide turns in your favor, like your NPCs or whatever. Like unless you like
but that's fine.
But I don't like that though.
You're the main character. What else is going to be the reason that the tides turn? Eagles.
My thing is that I like for my NPCs, like in Shadow of War, like you can like be selective and like upgrade people's armor or whatever their like special abilities. Like
You can't do that in the middle of battle.
No, you can't. But you have to do that in the planning screen. And like, if you're really meticulous about who you recruit and what you do, like it pays off, and they can have a better chance of being self-sufficient. But normally, it just doesn't work out that way unless you go through like I don't know, like an extra 2 hours of planning, which isn't fun to me. Like,
can you not do that already though?
What do you mean?
You're talking about I'm trying to understand. So like I may be wrong, right? Trying to understand that what you're wanting is the walk with me now. The ability to determine the outcome and style of combat based on like nuances such as like armor pieces and everything and like skill trees.
Not quite.
Not quite. Help me out here.
In not as much as skill trees and influence the amount of combat. So say you have objective-based systems for fortress battles, right? Like you have checkpoints you need to attack from. There are certain places that you can maybe get like an edge in the fight. But it basically in Shadow of War, like while that system in place allows you the freedom to pick and choose with your agency as a player, like what angle should I come in from? Should I ride a dragon into this fight? Do I need to like come in on the ground with my foot soldiers? Do I need to come in and avoid everybody altogether and do a stealthy like side approach from the walls?
You want rhyme and reason to your combat as opposed to just kind of bust up in there?
Right. So I need it to have like set objectives. I need my NPCs, who are like guest characters essentially, to have like an intelligent AI and be able to help out and be somewhat competent, but not overpowered. Which I think it tried to get the balance of that, but I think that you only achieved like a healthy balance of competent AI and NPCs if you like spent an exorbitant amount of time like grinding and like being super meticulous in the menu screen, which isn't fun to me. I need to be able to go into a fight and like not quite know what the outcome will be, but know that they will be able to at least able to help themselves for quite a while without just getting absolutely destroyed. But my other big...
Okay, go ahead.
There would be no fun in doing that.
So in Shadow of War, if someone was getting fucked up, you had to go save them or they're going to die. Like, that's just a given. Like,
that's what leaders do.
But...
That is what leaders do.
It became to a point to where... And I'm fine with that. Like, helping your partners is okay because that's how, fights
that's
work.
What we did in Pirate Warriors.
That's fine because that's how fights work. But it became, like... really tedious because if you got a lot of people that you want to keep alive but they aren't necessarily the best fighters or the smartest AI controlled people, then you're going around the entire map trying to keep people alive instead of secure these objectives, which are my other gripe with Shadow of War, because basically it just turned into Capture the Flag or like Battlefront or something like that where you're just like sitting on a command point and trying to capture that.
Okay, so pause and roll back with.
Yeah.
Pause, roll back.
Well, yeah, that's because aren't you defending that part?
Is this something that you don't get from Assassin's Creed, or?
I'm hoping to see something, an improved version of what I saw of Shadow of War. Because what I saw from Assassin's Creed, like just from brief, I haven't looked at all the gameplay footage. I admit it. But I've been at work. But from what I saw, it looked like there's a meter in the corner. And basically you just kill people to make the meter go down. And once you like do well enough in combat, like that, like encounter is resolved and it doesn't seem objective based. Now, if they improve upon that, or if there's other things that you can do, like, oh, hey, we're in the middle of this fight with another Greek army. Can you like sneak into their camp and like kill their leader while we hold off like people here on this objective point? And that actually helps people progress forward. And also influences the tide of battle and the level design, but also give branching paths of what you can do to assist in that. I think that would be cool as shit. And if you have semi-competent, like, AI-controlled allies, then, you're not having a, like, oh, hey, I need to keep this story important person alive, because if they die, then, hey, my mission's failed. So a balance between the two like that, I think, would be very fun to work with.
All right, cool. I was just trying to figure out how we got there from Assassin's Creed.
I gotcha.
Oh, question:
Yes.
The whole giant war thing, doesn't that kind of go against the whole assassin thing?
Oh,
Very
yeah.
much so.
Certainly, but as the games evolve, and I think as the setting evolves, like it's the same as Black Flag. Like you're fighting with a pirate ship crew. Like that's not very assassin-y, but you're a pirate.
Well,
In the ancient Egypt setting, like you're just a lone rogue assassin, and you don't have an army behind you technically.
that worked in the context of stories, because in Black Flag, Edward, like, for a while still wasn't sure if it was like, okay, I don't know if this is what I want. Like, I got this assassin's get up and I'm doing the thing and these blades are cool, but it takes him a while before he comes into like accepting what he's been given. And then the same thing kind of in, it's not the same thing in Origins, but Origins happens so far back before the assassins are like solidified as a thing. Yeah. So,
but what else did we see from Ubisoft besides Assassin's Creed? Because I don't know.
We saw more of Beyond Good and Evil 2, which I want to...
Like 50 seconds of gameplay?
It was another cinematic trailer, but...
Wait for
well,
what?
No. They did show us a bit of gameplay. Beyond Good and Evil 2. They showed us the cinematic trailer, and then they showed us, like...
Flying through the city.
In-engine gameplay and everything. Something I wanted to
show Skull and Bones?
They did. Something I want to talk about with Beyond Good and Evil 2 real quick is something I think that it's a good idea for developers to do, but I'm glad they're doing it with a game like Beyond Good and Evil that had, like, I guess kind of cult following, given the space between the two games and how many people have just kind of stuck to it as a fan base or whatever.
Yeah.
Where fans are allowed to submit content to be made available in the game. So, like, for the murals and graffiti, fans are allowed to submit art. For, like, pirate radio and everything, fans are allowed to submit music. And I don't know what else this extends to, or I don't remember what else it extends to, but fans are being given the opportunity to work with devs in order to pretty much create this game. And
right.
I think that's a good thing, and I think it's good for a game with a fan base of this size, because if it were anything bigger, it would probably turn into one big mess.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm watching the combat for Assassin's Creed. This looks like shit. No. It's still clunky as fuck.
I mean, it's not done yet.
Dude, this comes out this year.
Super better, but
Dude, this comes out in like 3 months.
And what else did we have? We had Square Enix next.
I mean, we still had some Ubisoft stuff, but I guess like nothing to spend a lot of time on. Transference looked really good. I think Transference was the only thing that stood out, because everything else was like sequels, expansions, and stuff we've seen before.
Every time I hear that, I think of Transference.
Wait. Yeah.
Every time you... Huh?
Skull and Bones, was that good?
Oh, yeah. Skull and Bones looked hella good.
I heard it's good Sea of Thieves.
It is.
We had 3 Sea of Thieves games this year
that were better than Sea of Thieves.
It is a very good Sea of Thieves. Yeah, man, we got all these pirate games
and pirate levels.
We got Skull and Bones, we got KH3, we got Jump Force, and we got Sea of Thieves.
Shit, even the Sea of Thieves DLC was better than Sea of Thieves.
Well, I think that's a given.
I mean, that's why they do it.
To add to.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's about it for Ubisoft. Then we've got Square Enix's. My big takeaways from Square Enix, a few things. Number one, they are very happy and very proud of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which they should be. It doesn't have quite its own niche, because I think that it just never like solidified itself as its own thing, and had like a concrete fan base. But they're still going with it, and it has a cult following, and that's fine by me. But I still never think that it's found its own like unique place in gaming history, because I guarantee that after like it's been a few years since the last game is released, like they'll just remake Tomb Raider again, or someone will pick up that license. But I am excited for Fall of Babylon. Was that what it was called?
Babylon's Fall.
Babylon's Fall. That looks super dope.
Square Enix in collaboration with Platinum Games.
Platinum Games makes me a little bit aflutter now. Now that I've played Nier Automata.
Oh, I hope they put Temple Run in it.
And it's in a fantasy setting, like high fantasy. So I appreciate that aesthetic. So it gets my gander going. But then we've got things like The Quiet Man, which seems like an experience kind of game, less than, gameplay centered. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like, it's meant to be, like, an experience, like, journey, less than, like, a gameplay, like, centered project. Does that make sense? Because I think that Assassin's Creed, or I had something else in mind, but I was like, I was thinking of the opposite. So, like, experience games would be like, I feel like Telltale's Walking Dead, Flower, Detroit Become Human. I think that those are experience kinds of games. And then from a gameplay perspective, it's more technical, less, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I think it'll be one of those types of games, very story heavy, very nuanced and neat. And we'll see where that heads to. I'm interested to see if the game's actually 100% silent, and just filled with subtitles, since the main character seems to be deaf. Not really sure what to expect from it, but I'll keep my eye on it. And then we had Kingdom Hearts at the end of the at the end of the conference, because that's supposed to be their big next thing coming up. And then we got Dragon Quest XI. Now, is that a new title or is that a remake? I never got the answer to that.
DQ11.
That's gotta be DLC or a remake.
It's not a DLC.
What?
Gotta be.
DQ11. I got a double.
I've heard Dragon Quest XI before.
They get it over there like hella long before we get stuff over here.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I've heard of Dragon Quest like 14, like 12, and 13.
Okay, I haven't heard it go that high.
Somewhere in there, I may just be crossing it up with.
Okay, it's been in development forever. Development started in 2013.
That's what it is.
Yep. 2016, he said story was fully finished. April 2017, it got revealed. And PS4 and 3DS versions of the game revealed July 29th, 2017. And they said it was going to come out September 4, 2018. Which, yeah. Okay, yeah, no, it already came out over there July. Yeah, it came out over there last year. And it's coming out over here in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Hunter's going on hiatus again.
That's why it's been on hiatus, Shelly.
See, already.
But I'm interested in it because who doesn't want to play as Android 17? But it looks like I'll play any game now, any RPG. I played a Tales game. Like, I've learned to not judge a book by its cover. And nothing is too Japanese for my weeb ass self anymore.
I'm always happy for Dragon Quest fans because stuff comes out over there and it's just over there for so long, and then it's like,
if we're lucky, we'll see it.
Yeah, when's it coming here?
Like that Tales of Vesperia remake that like people were bitching about.
Yeah,
and then it suddenly happened.
Now they got it, so it's okay.
I wasn't too happy with Square's conference just because.
I know, I was there.
And it wasn't even a lack of new content. It was just they had the opportunity to at least mention and give a status update on both the Avengers Project and Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I was looking more for just
mention that remake.
I was looking more for just news. Like, I wasn't looking for gameplay. I wasn't looking for a trailer. I just wanted to hear something because I knew that it, like, since they, like, started developing it in-house, they've been running into some issues. So there's no way we're getting it anytime soon.
They scrapped the whole thing.
No, I know.
Gamescom is later this year.
No reason to mention nothing.
What were you saying, George?
Isn't Gamescom later this year?
Yeah.
So is
usually in October.
Huh?
Is it Gamescom in October?
Yeah.
And we got Jump Festa and PS Experience or whatever.
They're not gonna show it at Jump Festa. They're not gonna show it at Jump Festa.
They could show it Paris
Gamescom and PSA. Yeah, Paris Games Week too.
But Sony does Paris Games Week now.
Yeah.
Shit. They're more likely to show something at Paris Games Week than they are Gamescom. Because Sony just kind of fucks around with Gamescom.
Yeah.
I would think that they would announce it at Jump Festa. They announced 13 Lightning Returns there.
See?
Well, when is Jump Festa?
I think it's like in November or early December.
See, that's why I say maybe not, because that's so close to PSX.
We'll see. It depends on who needs it the most. But I would have appreciated something for the Avengers Project that might be announced at Jump Festa, honestly.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
That would probably make a lot more sense.
Aren't they making 2 Avengers games?
No, they're just making the one.
Just one.
But they may make more than one if it goes well, because this is an Avengers project.
I heard there's supposed to be more than one.
From in general, or just from Square Enix? Because Square Enix is doing one.
I'm not sure if it's supposed to be from Square, but it's supposed to be more than one.
Somebody else might be working on another one.
Maybe it was like a VR title that was another one, but there's supposed to be 2.
There was a VR Powers game. There is a VR
If
game
it's
that they're developing for the Avengers.
Yeah. Okay. See, maybe that was the other one, but I just knew it was supposed to be 2.
Because remember they showed that at the Disney thing when they announced the KH3 release window.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's 5.
Actually, it's 6.
I was being generous.
But we'll see. I didn't, like I said, I didn't love it, but it wasn't bad. It just wasn't. It was very lackluster, and there wasn't a lot of shine and polish to it. It was straight to the point. Because I think that their biggest cows, they're either promoting Tomb Raider the way they want to, or Kingdom Hearts, like they spread that evenly, like amongst themselves, Sony and Microsoft. And Sony got the biggest. Actually, I take that back. Sony got the biggest slice of that pie. Square Enix didn't have actually much new content to show for it.
They probably didn't expect people to watch theirs as opposed to Sony's.
But
I do feel like Square got shafted because everything they had to show, Microsoft went ahead and did, which leave it to Microsoft to throw you a bunch of third party. Not that that's a bad thing. But
no, it's just it's what they become known for.
Choice, really.
They don't have a choice because there's not much. I mean, I commend them for coming out the gate with Halo. Gears was kind of I like the Cuphead DLC, and I like the fact that they started like buying up studios so they can actually like
Make
hold on
things.
to these people and make exclusives. So that makes me
We have a
hopeful for
discussion about those studios.
yeah. Like, how have they not bought the studio for Forza?
Yeah,
Like they had just been yeah.
yeah, they just been making the. I mean, does it really change anything that they bought those studios? I mean, other than the other ones, like the
Now it
ones that they actually bought, like the
Well, now
ones
they're
that
locked
developed
in. They
Ninja
can't
Yeah.
be considered exclusives.
Those
Yeah.
make a difference. But the ones that they were already developing for Microsoft, does that make a difference?
it didn't make a difference for
Other
any
than
studio
Playground.
already there.
Playground Studios is 2 dev teams.
Well, now
Yeah.
that they bought these studios, can they be considered true exclusives?
I mean,
Well, no, hold on.
they're only true exclusives when they're just on the one platform, but they're not going to be on the
Yeah.
one platform. They're
Okay, here it is. I'm gonna run it down. The fact that the studios themselves aren't first or second party doesn't mean that the games aren't exclusive. The games stay exclusive as long as they're on that one platform. What it does is that it keeps those development studios from making games for other companies. Because like as third party like dev studios, technically they're not bound by anything. Now, that's not to say Ninja Theory can like make Hellblade and put it on PS4 or something like that. I'm just using this as an example. I don't know if Hellblade is on PS4 already or whatever.
Yeah,
But
it came there first.
okay. But that's saying like if Capcom wanted to do like another Devil May Cry reboot game, if Microsoft hadn't bought Ninja Theory could just go and do that for them. But now that Microsoft bought Ninja Theory, they can't do that. It's like when Microsoft bought Rare, and so then Retro Studios had to handle the Donkey Kong franchise for Nintendo because they didn't have Rare anymore, and Rare couldn't come back and make anything else. So
And since they own them, they can give more funding or expand the dev teams if they wanted to.
yeah, because they know that their money is coming like right back to them. Hopefully, I don't know. They may see a
Isn't Ninja Theory just like, well, the people who made Hellblade was just 10 people.
I don't know the number, so you might be
It
right.
was. Like the
It
people.
was okay.
Yeah, it was 10 people.
I thought you were asking. My bad.
I
Guess that 10 people did that.
think that's
So,
it.
yeah, they could expand that team.
Let's see. Do we just have Nintendo and Sony left now? That's about it for Squares.
Yeah,
That's all I wanted to talk about with Squares.
Unless you want to talk about EA again.
No.
As an aside, PC, because I was looking for stuff on that. Just to kind of give a recap. Insomniac's working on a VR game.
Oh.
I don't know nothing about it. It's called Stormland. And let's see. In it, you play as a damaged robot that wakes up in the open world and must explore and fight enemies to piece itself back together. And you could just find mechanical parts on the ground, pick them up, and attach them.
If I liked first person, I would get a VR headset.
Yeah. Sega announced a bunch of games coming to PC, including Shenmue 1 and 2. The first Bayonetta was already on Steam. I don't know why they did that. Shining Resonance Reframe and Yakuza, some Yakuza titles, starting with Zero and Kiwami, and then Valkyria Chronicles 4. Sega last E3 was also in talks of possibly taking Atlas titles and moving them to PC, which we still haven't heard anything on that. Atlas has been wetting the bed on their own with the Persona Dance games, but they've been making it back up with Catherine. Just Cause 4 and Hitman are they're getting put on PC. Star Control Origins. When it's hunted, but we did learn that. It's supposed to be, I guess, a better No Man's Sky.
Well, that wouldn't be too terribly hard.
Yeah. And just a few other games, left and right, and that's about it.
Here's what Sony should do. Sony should get rid of Media Molecule and try and buy Atlas.
I don't think so.
I don't think Sega's gonna give up the GOAT like that. They'd have to like hostile takeover, or they'd have to strike a hard bargain.
Well,
Or they
let's talk
just
about.
I said try.
Well, let's
Yeah.
talk about Sony in general. Sony had out the gate Last of Us 2 gameplay, which is something that we were expecting, but we didn't know what to think because we've only seen story trailers up to this point, or concept trailers. Joel's still alive at the point that we saw in the game, because they talked about him briefly. And Ellie is still very gay. And there's a dodging mechanic now, which me and Shelly figured out. And that looks fun. So that means you have to be quick in fights and not just kind of brute force your way through it like you could with Joel and his stagger everything fists of fury.
Oh yeah, like crouch mechanics. There's like 3 levels to it.
Jesus. Oh yeah, because you could go prone now.
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, you can just keep going lower and shit.
And that was interesting because now I can actually play Snake Eater. But it looks like a Last of Us game. I mean, there's not much to say about it. The level design was very familiar from that one gas station where you get like stopped by like the cannibals or whatever, or the people who are like killing everybody and like taking their shoes off or whatever, and that level. So I appreciated that and the throwback to it. There's enhanced crafting options because you have exploding arrows now. I'm assuming other types of arrows.
You can craft ammo.
And Ellie's a hell of a lot faster with it than Joel was. But that also might be an upgrade. I think overall, as long as the AI is still top notch,
dude,
Dude,
that AI is like completely overhauled.
That's what I'm assuming.
No, there's no assuming. That's what you saw it.
I think also, I think that the dodge mechanic gives there an extra depth to the combat that there wasn't before, because as Joel, you could quite literally, you had a lot of options, but at the end of the day, like, fists were the best way to go if you wanted to conserve ammo. So you could just get up behind people and just strangle them to death, or like slam them against a wall or something, and then just the stagger never stopped if you were doing a fisticuffs with somebody. In a one-on-one fight, like, Joel was like always superior, and they took that away from Ellie, and so now you have to be quick and think carefully before engaging, and I think that adds a little bit to the terror of the game. We still haven't seen any clickers or anything like that.
They said that there are new enemy types too.
That's disgusting. We haven't seen any zombie, like, I say zombie loosely, people. So I'm excited to see that when they finally like decide to show it. But story-wise, cool. Nothing new, nothing too interesting. It's just a progression of something that we already knew. But we did get to confirm that Joel's still alive in that time frame that we saw. That could change. I expect it to change. Now, my question is do you think he'll be playable at all, or do you think it will be Ellie through the entire game?
I feel like this is Ellie's story, not Joel. So
I think he'll be playable in the prologue, and then you'll play as Ellie.
Maybe, but I don't think he'll be playable.
I think they'll do like a Sarah segment where it like plays him, and you avoid death, but then it comes later in the game. He may be crippled after that, to an extent, and that's just why Ellie has to kind of do her own thing for the rest of the game. I think that was a good way to start the show. They started it really weird by making everybody go to church. But I think Ghost of Tsushima, or is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Did you hear that one of the developers from Tomb Raider said that the animations on The Last of Us were fake?
You mean like pre-rendered or what?
Yeah, just say like those animations were fake. Because you notice how buttery smooth it fucking was.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if it was, I wouldn't be surprised because like I just expect such a high quality from Naughty Dog that like the animation and the buttery smoothness of it like doesn't surprise me. But if that was actual pre-rendered gameplay, then whatever. We'll get a finished product. But I mean, if that's true, then like that's pretty mad salty coming from a Tomb Raider developer whose like the first game was praised for like how meticulously detailed the animations were.
Lovingly rendered butthole.
Yes. But Ghost of Tsushima, like, that looks amazing. I forgot that I love Sucker Punch.
They do good work.
Yes, they do.
And apparently that what we saw in that trailer and gameplay segment was a side quest. I've never seen something quite as beautiful as that Horizon that we saw during that sword fight. Like that sword fight was fucking gorgeous.
It was so good. We cried.
Like it, like, it looked like something out of like some samurai movie.
Some good.
You know, I didn't
Sword
know
of the
that
Stranger.
he would become a ninja.
Huh?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said I didn't know that he would become a ninja. That's what the story is about.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think my favorite part about that entire trailer is like during the fight, like he did like some Yaido at the very beginning. I was like, God, it's Mifune all over again.
My favorite part
I was like, Shelly, you remember him, right? And that like over the top ass like ultimate jutsu.
You know that was the best one.
That was the best one because it was the most dynamic and like creative.
My favorite was when he was fighting the girl with the leaves.
But I really appreciate it, like just the nuance and like the atmosphere that game created. I'm really intrigued to see how sword combat goes, especially when you're in a duel setting. I think that's where the game's mechanics are really going to shine. And I hope that it's a rewarding system and not just like Uncharted levels of swordplay where it's like a mini game practically. I think that would be stupid.
He evolves considering how he's not going to be a samurai.
I mean, he'll just probably use ninja weapons, but still keep his katana. If that's really what it is.
I mean, wouldn't he just use the Rasengan? Wouldn't that be faster?
I don't think chakra exists. I don't think chakra exists in this universe.
I'd die if he tried to use Chidori one time.
One time for the one time?
You can't escape my Byakugan.
Make a move already.
But you know that like there's probably going to be some mystical Shinto bullshit in that game.
Oh yeah, totally.
So we'll probably see Genjutsu. Like I would be surprised if we didn't see some equivalent to Genjutsu in there. But I think that looks that's probably like my most anticipated Sony game coming up. That's not KH3. So
it's not a Sony game.
I know, but it's on Sony's platform.
It's on everyone's platform, except
Xbox. It's on Xbox's. It's Sony's platform. That's it. But I'm excited for that. What else did we get? Death Stranding. I wasn't paying attention to that trailer.
Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2. We were really confused by that like start of it because Shelly thought it was going to be a roach simulator for VR.
I would have bought that.
I was like, I think it's a mouse. And then I was like, where have I heard this voice actor before? And I kept trying to rack my brain, and then I saw Leon's face, and I was like, it's Resident Evil. Because I was like, I recognize him, and I cannot place where I've heard that before.
Nick took his glasses off and almost shed tears.
Resident Evil 2 is supposed to be the best one, right? With Raccoon City?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't play it.
I was like 4 and 2. The ones with Leon are all the good games, apparently.
So the people tell me. But he was also just fascinated with the idea that Capcom invested in a venture and it didn't end up looking like garbage. Which good for Capcom. They really came through this year.
With Devil May Cry and
Devil May Cry,
Resident Evil. That's it.
The Monster Hunter collab ain't that bad.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy XIV is getting a collab with Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
It's cute. And also kind of hype as shit. In a way. But what else did we get? We got Death Stranding gameplay for like 30 seconds.
Whoa. It was like 40 seconds of walk with the refrigerator on your back.
Oh man, Norman Reedus was out there getting it with his funky fetus.
Listen, I don't know what the premise of this game is. I don't think I'll ever know until it comes out.
Brian, defend your man Kojima.
I don't need to.
He's kind of got it.
Yeah, he's doing fine on his own.
Is he?
Yeah.
Brian, what is this game about?
No one knows.
No one knows, and that's fine.
That's part of the fun.
It's an art film.
Knowing Kojima, he's probably already given us like key plot elements, but he's just made it so vague and like saturated in symbolism that we have no idea.
And some.
Knowing Kojima, he has probably given us key plot points, but he has just hidden them so well in like saturated symbolism and bullshit and cryptic bullshit.
Saturated symbolism. He's walking everywhere. There's a baby on.
And then there's handprint monsters.
There's handprint monsters that float up in the air, and then there's
umbilical cords attached to them.
White lady who eats fetuses.
You know what I really want? Like, just like deep down in my soul, I want that baby to be like an echolocation kind of bullshit, like a backpack kind of thing, or like a key item. Now, I don't want it to be like integral to the story. I just want it to be like an actual gameplay mechanic. And so everybody's like trying to come up with like, oh, how is this baby significant? Whatever. It's just a gameplay mechanic.
I don't know. I don't know what this game is about. I don't think I'll ever know what this game is about.
It's so silly.
And I don't plan on buying it ever.
It'll come out, people will have played it, and nobody will still know.
Also, that game is most definitely not ready till 2020.
Oh no, I fully expect that.
I wonder, is there actually combat in this game?
Knowing him,
show straight walking for like 40 seconds like that for no reason.
He had a gun in the trailer, didn't he, or something to that effect?
He had something like a weapon,
some kind of weapon. So arguably,
but to be fair, he also had a light detector flappy thing on his back.
He had a what did I call it, Shelly?
Like a claw thing, like a magic claw or whatever. I don't know. I was making funny voices with it. I was like, let me touch you. Like just something goofy. Like the whole game's goofy.
It looks the flap thing kind of looked like something Otacon would make. I think of the what is it, like the Mark IV or whatever that follows you around in MGS4? Yeah.
It looks like Flu from fucking Sunshine. That's what it reminds me of.
Sure, I know that. I know what that is. I know exactly what that is. Yeah, I do.
You do?
No, I don't. But
you don't know that thing from Sunshine, like the water pack that he had? The one that talked and went, Mario.
Flood?
Is it Flood?
It's Flood.
Oh fuck. I never played Sunshine, if you can't tell.
Hey, George, did you play Quantum Break?
I did not, but I saw those people I saw Remedy is making a very similar looking game
Did you watch the trailer?
What?
for Control.
No.
Did you watch the trailer?
Who, me?
No.
For Control? I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were watching it, and I was like, "Oh, this is Remedy's new game," because it looks just like Quantum Break.
Oh, that one. The one that you're like, oh, it's Quantum Break 2. It's Quantum Break 2. And I was like, no, I don't think it's Quantum Break 2.
Remedy said, "Let's make Quantum Break, but with a woman,
And put it on PS4 instead of
put it
Xbox
on
One.
everywhere else."
What was it? We started watching it and we saw the visuals and everything, and Kelvin's next to me and he's like, God, please don't let this be Quantum Break. And then it got to the end and it was like Remedy, and I was like, that sounds familiar. What did they do? And I look it up and I go, oh, hey, Kel, they did Quantum Break. And he's like, all right, fine.
I think the trailer that, like, besides, like, the joy that I got from Ghost of Tsushima, I think the trailer that made me, like, smile the most was probably the Resident Evil, like, 2 reveal. Because it took me a minute because I'm somewhat familiar with the franchise, because I played a little bit of it, not much, but it was fun to see and just experience again, and get that kind of nostalgic feel that, like, I didn't know that I had.
It made us happy just to see Capcom doing stuff.
And then I got oh god. Well, I guess now is a good time to talk about as any. When the
Neo
KH3
2 was announced.
What? Neo 2? Oh yeah.
Neo 2?
Announced. Yeah.
Yes.
Now let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 3: The Pirates of the Caribbean World.
Yeah, I was like, okay, let's see the trailer, because I'm expecting, like, a slight variation from, like, the other ones. I was like, okay, I just, like, my expectations were really muted.
Square
And then
didn't
that
give us
shit-
Despacito 2. I'm
And
mad.
that shit started, George, and I saw the pirate hat, and I just immediately started, like, screaming rhythmically, and Shelly's, like, laughing at me, like, Brian, like, what's going on? And I'm just reacting to everything, and I flipped my shit when I saw that it was World's End, and the first thing I said, I was like, why did they use the worst movie? But it looks so good. So I'm like, I don't know, man. The ship fights look dope as hell. I like the Keyblade. He's always like, shit, I might want to play this. And I was like, good. I was like, this is the best looking world that I've seen yet.
Sea of Hearts? What?
And you can dive down in the water, so, like, that's pretty fun. So that adds a lot to the exploration. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not keen on the story of the film, and I don't know how they're adapting it, obviously, but because they skipped an entire movie to get here. As long as I get Davy Jones as a boss, like, I'll be cool.
Send your shrink to Davy Jones's locker.
But I, like, started freaking the fuck out when I saw Luxord, because I was like, why, what? And then it got progressively worse.
I bet.
And then, what did we see? I was like, oh yeah, it got to Axel, and I was like, okay, cool, Axel. And then Kyrie came up on screen with her hair, and I just, like, I don't know what came over me, but I just started screaming. I squeed like a motherfucker, and I started clapping. And Shelly's like, dude, it sounds like you're fapping. I was like, I don't know if I didn't.
He was going like this.
And I was like, 10 out of 10! Square one! I was like, square one, E3.
Stop being horny, dude.
That's not it, though. I was just so happy to see her in game. Like, you know how long it's been since Kyrie's been in that game?
Kingdom Hearts 2?
No.
Kingdom
Longer
Hearts
than that.
1?
She's been in a bunch of other ones.
Kingdom Hearts.
She's not had an
2.5?
active force in anything. She didn't have an active force in 2, to be honest.
But she was in it, wasn't she?
Yeah, she sure was.
She was definitely in.
So what you're saying is that she wasn't in it since the last game?
She made a cameo in Dream
But
Drop
she was in it.
Distance, and that was it. She showed up the secret ending of Dream Drop Distance for like a second with no dialogue, and that was the last time we saw her.
As far as I'm concerned, she's had way more screen time than Gargoyles.
And I'm not talking about 0.2. I don't count that.
I count it.
But I was just super happy. Like, and I'll get into like the details of it, because like since E3's happened, like we've gotten a lot of interviews about Kingdom Hearts from different places. So what they've mentioned, and I'll just report it here, is that Big Hero 6 is still, like, I think one of the last worlds being developed, and they've finished all of the gameplay segments of it, but the reason they haven't revealed it yet officially with like cutscenes and whatnot is because the cutscenes are still not done. They're working on that last, so they're animating those and voicing them over, stuff like that, probably improving character models for cutscene stuff. But the game looks fucking good. Like, I can't, they've come so long, like so far from using the Luminous engine, and that switch to Unreal 4 was just the best thing they could have done with that Kingdom shader. And that the shader's so good.
Nah, man, they could have gone back to Luminous engine.
No. It just wasn't working for them because they said it didn't fit the game's style and aesthetic. And also we're having a lot of issues with Final Fantasy 15, so they dropped it.
Now, Crystal Tools, that's where it was at.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We also got confirmation that the delay was not because the build was buggy. It wasn't because of development issues. Nomura came out and said it was just bad timing, because he said based on, like, you know, everybody's schedules, the holidays, and just the timing that they were aiming for initially, and like Western schedules, they said that it was a lot safer and a lot easier to just go ahead and push it back a month. Not a huge delay. They even considered at one point, you know, speeding up the process of development to like get it out earlier. And they're like, nah, that's not going to work, because then the game would be a little bit too buggy and it wouldn't live up to standard quality standards.
Well, bless them for not wanting to day one patch it like everyone else. Although I still feel like they're going to day one patch it.
Well, they're going to probably day one patch it a little bit because. But my thing is that, you know, they were honest about it, and they said that, you know, we weren't going to make a lot of money if we did it the way we were. And I think that confirms that we were either getting a very late November or very early December release initially.
So technically it only got delayed a month or two.
That sounds like early November, late October.
No, because
that would be around Call of Duty.
It would be around Red Dead.
No, it would be around Call of Duty. Wait, when does Red Dead come out anyway?
It comes out like November 18th or like early 20s, something like in there. We can look it up. But my big thing, like my conspiracy theory, was that they saw Red Dead and got scared as shit.
No, it would have been smushed between Call of Duty and Red Dead. It would have died.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, they said Western schedules taken into consideration, it wasn't a good time for them to get out, so they went ahead and pushed it back a little bit. It's going to be available on October 26th.
I thought it was January 29th.
No, that's Red Dead, I just said.
Oh.
Like Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, look, I told you October. I told you late October, early November.
And I said late November for Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm fine with it now that I have like actual confirmation, because I had a feeling that this is what it was. And you know what? Like,
that's all he wanted. That's all he wanted.
That's all I wanted, was just honesty. Like, if it was like actual development hell and they were having like issues with the build itself, like they did with 15, I was about to get really pissed off and scared. But they're proceeding as planned. Nomura has his hands in this whole entire project, and knows what the fuck he's doing for once, because this is his baby. I think that you know, the extra feedback that we got from the initial demo with the community leaders is going to help out a lot. People were saying, I was seeing people tweet that, you know, this build that they had was completely new and that they had fixed a lot of the issues, but like, I'm not sure about the legitimacy of that because obviously I didn't play the one before, and they could have just been imagining it. So we'll see. We've got 7 months until the game's out. And we are getting some more worlds. He said that they're almost done with. They don't have many left, but they still have. I think it's safe to assume that they have about 1 or 2 Disney worlds left, and then they've got about maybe 1 or 2 original worlds that haven't been announced.
Okay, Brian.
Brian, so no gargoyles, Shelly. No Pepper Rain either.
Okay, listen. Jordan Peele went to Disney and pitched a Gargoyles movie.
No.
And they didn't say anything because they didn't want to tell him no. But what they said to him was, we got this game in Japan.
No, Shelly.
They have these worlds.
No, Shelly.
You can put your idea in this game.
No.
We'll reveal it at Gamescom.
No, Shelly. Don't feed into your crackpot fantasy. It's not happening. So and if it happens, I'll eat my fucking sock.
You said that before, and you ended up having to eat your socks. So,
well, that's why I'm putting it on the table because I have a pretty strong chance that Goliath will not show up in this fucking game.
But the last time you made this declaration, you lost, is what I'm saying.
I know. That's why I'm saying it now because I'm sure I'll win this time. And if it happens, Shelly gets what he wants, and I get to eat my sock. Whatever.
I have a tweet at Jordan Peele. Like, hey. Did Disney tell you to go put gargoyles on Kingdom Hearts 3?
He wouldn't have any hand in it.
He pitched the idea. He's an Oscar winner, man. They let him do it.
No.
He's an Oscar-winning director. I
don't give a fuck. That's not cutting in Kingdom Hearts.
And he said, bitch, a lot.
He said. Oh, I'm looking around.
You're gonna finish that sentence, or are you just gonna leave
me hanging? I gotta look around like in the skit. All right, hold on.
But no, the game looks great. Pirates is probably my top 2 world now. And I have 3 worlds that I really want to see. I think number 1's Tangled, Pirates is second, and then Monsters Inc. in that order. If we get Radiant Garden, I really want to see what that looks like because that'll be really fun exploring. Because he said that they had a few original worlds, and that leads me to believe that there's going to probably be about 3, besides Twilight Town, 3 original worlds for the game. Or 2, I suppose, if they do count Twilight Town.
They can do Up.
They could do Up, but that'd be too much Pixar in one game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No such thing.
We did confirm that they are trying to get at least 1 live-action movie in.
You confirmed.
Yeah, they don't have to do that. Yeah.
No, but they said it. He's like, I wanted to try and get this. That's what I'm explaining now. He said that he wanted to try and do at least 1 live-action film, and that Pirates 3 just came naturally. And he said that they were just trying to see how realistic and how good they can make the game look based off of that standard of quality that they had.
Oh, please do Alice Through the Looking Glass, just because I really like Nostalgia Critic's review of it, and he was talking about her being a pirate captain, even though she was terrible at being a pirate captain.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, I'm excited to see what we could get still, but it's not over. We'll probably get probably at Tokyo Game Show, I'd imagine, or Jump Festa. We'll get another world for Kingdom Hearts, and then maybe towards launch we'll start getting original worlds Come-Upping and stuff like that. But anyway, it looks great. Trailer was hype. It's looking good. It's playing good. We got 7 months left. I'm pretty sure this is the last time that it'll get delayed, because it didn't really need to get delayed the first time, according to Nomura. But they had actually planned on pushing it forward. But we'll see.
Oh God. Ugh.
And what was the last thing that Sony showed?
Spider-Man.
Oh jeez.
We kept getting Spider-Man stuff and then Dream segments in between.
I'm sorry. What?
We were talking about the Dream segments that kept popping up as intermissions.
How that man just glossed over Spider-Man like Spider-Man wasn't the second best thing that Sony showed.
Because Brian don't care.
I mean, I like Spider-Man. I just don't want to buy the game yet.
I'm saying we ain't talk about it or nothing. No, we just kind of
No.
like.
We're saving it for last. I'm getting a smaller fish out of the way so you two can talk about Spider-Man while I look up on Twitter.
I mean, we didn't have, everybody knows Dream's coming out.
Shelly, you love that game. Shut the fuck up.
I do not
Don't
love
act like
Dream.
it's not a big
I said
deal.
I was impressed by what they did.
After you keep telling me, man, I might actually buy Dreams. It looks
I'm not
pretty
gonna
good.
buy Dreams. I'm
Damn,
not
man, like I want to see what I can do with Dreams. That
it doesn't
actually
even
looks
have a
great.
release date.
It looks pretty
It
good.
doesn't even have a release window.
You do anything you want, Brian.
For all I know, Metroid Prime 4 is gonna come out before.
Shelly, stop comparing games that you actually want with games that you don't to try and deflect the fact that you want this game.
Oh, cool. I was waiting to say that. He said it for me. Let's go.
Anyway, talk about fucking Spider.
For all I know, Jump Force will come out before. Well, it's particle effects.
Jesus.
Spider-Man 4, not 4. Spider-Man has the Sinister Six in it.
Yes, it does.
I love. I love how it's the Amazing Spider-Man 3
Yeah,
but done right.
yeah. We were like, man, this actually looks like a sequel to that Spider-Man reboot that won't ever happen again.
Oh man, this makes the Amazing Spider-Man 2 look kind of good. I mean, just like what because it built up to that.
It's painful because it's painful.
I like the Andrew Garfield movies. I'm sorry.
I like
them too.
I like the first one.
I like both of them. I mean, I don't like the second one as much as the first one, but I still like them.
I didn't like Jamie Foxx as Electro.
No one liked Jamie Foxx as Electro. He's weird.
I liked him better as a slave.
I like the dubstep that was his music.
Django George. It was a choice.
Jesus.
I don't want to get into this.
Shelly setting us back a few hundred years.
God,
A role. It was a choice of a role
I'm the voice of a generation.
in a movie.
This is nuts in my mouth. Anyway.
But what do you guys think? They showed extended gameplay of it and web slinging.
They didn't need to show anything else because I was sold before.
Yeah, I'm just as excited for it as I had always been. But like the thing at the end of the trailer kind of had me hyped because he just turns and it's like you, and I saw that light. And
Gotta be Iron Man.
I was gonna say Human Torch.
Nah.
I wanted it to be Ultimate Spider-Man all over again, but
Nah,
we can't always get.
I think they're trying to make a universe.
I don't want them to. Like it'd be cool. It'd be cool. Like don't get me wrong, but I don't want them to.
I mean, they don't legit have to build a universe. I mean, just keep it as a Spider-Man game, but you can make it like a live.
Yeah, like I'm fine with cameos and stuff like that and crossovers, but I don't want the MCU to like show up in everything, or I don't want it to be the reason that everything is the way it is, because that's part of what arguably that's part of what killed MVC Infinite.
Yep.
Now, not to say that it would kill this game, because Insomniac know how to do the thing, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of don't want to risk it at the same time.
Who do you think you saw at the end of the trailer?
Iron Man.
I wanted to be Human Torch. I can't give it.
It's got to be someone with like boosters.
I thought it would be Human Torch, honestly, for
Only
Fantastic
2
Four, since
people.
no one's doing anything with them.
Yeah, I can't give a definitive answer though.
Yeah, it's either Iron Man or for some reason the Green Goblin or a Hobgoblin.
Or what about
But helping him though?
See, it didn't necessarily have to be helping him. It could have just been making the situation worse.
Doesn't Norman Osborn exist in that universe
Yeah,
still?
he's the
like
mayor.
yeah, that's why he could be Green Goblin. I don't think that's like too out of the realm of possibility.
There's so many villains in this game.
I'm with it.
Spider-Man game, dude.
Oh,
I
if
don't need another hero.
I get Craven the Hunter.
I'd be
What
with
if-
that.
What if you get Kraven the Hunter?
I want Craven the Hunter in one of the movies.
What if you get
I
Cloak
never
and Dagger, but the cool one?
Huh?
What if you get cool Cloak and Dagger and not an ABC show?
I mean, I don't care about Cloak and Dagger.
I think they're cool as shit. Wasn't there like a cult in Spider-Man lore? I can't remember what it were. I've got that book somewhere.
Oh, I don't know. All my Spider-Man lore comes from the animated series.
All mine comes from this Ultimania that I bought because I was obsessed with him when I was younger.
Ultimania?
It was basically an Ultimania.
Is that what you call all of them, Brian?
Now, because I don't have another word for it.
Jesus Christ.
It's so perfectly encapsulates what the fuck it actually is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm a shill. Shut up.
You are. As long as you know it.
Oh, on the bright side, well, actually, we never went off into the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Dark
So-
times.
While the grass is greener on the other side, Young Justice Season 3 coming out probably like around November, late November-ish on that
On a
stream.
DC-only streaming service.
And I think Titans is coming out September-ish. Because when Titans ends, that's when they're going to start airing Young Justice.
Cool.
It's like supposed
Um,
to be 13 episodes. All right, sweet.
is that it for Sony? Was there anything else?
Oh, that VR game that they showed and trolled everybody for.
The Squanch Games one?
That one from
Sound it out.
damn it. From Software.
From Software. Oh, the thing that everyone thought was going to be Bloodborne 2?
Yes.
What was it? I missed that.
No, because they said it was a VR title. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's Bloodborne VR.
Nah. It's some kind of French VR. Yeah. I don't know what
A French horror game for VR.
I don't think it's a horror game.
No, it's not horror. It's like an art house film. I don't know.
Yeah.
French films are all horror.
I can't even pronounce that, and I took a French class.
It's Des something, but people have been memeing it in a Despacito.
Is it Silent Hill? I bet
No.
it's Silent Hill.
No, it's
That'd be
it's
cool as
not.
shit if we got a Silent Hill VR.
Jesus Christ, Brian, it's not horror.
I'm making a bit, George. All French films are horror films.
That's kind of mean.
Did
I'm
your French teacher
being
make you watch
facetious.
Cyrano?
No.
Oh, my French teacher made us watch that. Don't watch it. Oh. Black Ops 1 and 2 maps coming to Black Ops 3 and 4.
Oh,
Therefore, making Black Ops 4 and 3 the same game.
well,
I think
congratulations.
somebody jokingly,
That 4 is going to have Battle Royale.
somebody jokingly mentioned that to me today. They were like, "What? You're not gonna get 4 and play on all those old maps?" And I'm like, "But they
Already
no.
were there.
Yeah, somebody mentioned the 1 and 2 maps, and I was like, oh, okay. And someone was like, well, I think they're bringing back Nuketown, and I'm like, Nuketown has never left.
It's always
That's like that's like when Infinity Ward releases another game, and it's like, hey, we brought back Terminal. Yeah, like you always have. Stop it.
I appreciated this conference a lot. And Justin Roiland making games still for VR. Like, I think he's found his little hobby. I'm so proud of him.
That's exactly what we'll call it too.
It feels like a hobby at this point. But moving on to Nintendo. Give me a list, George, before we get into the nitty gritty.
All right. So they opened up with. Now, do you want me to explain them or just like
just run the list by us and we can just comment?
Okay. So let's see. We got Demon X Machina, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC. We got the Let's Go Pokemon games. We have Fire Emblem Three Houses, which has a way more elaborate title in Japanese. We got Fortnite, Arena of Valor, Paladins, info on Minecraft, Overcooked 2, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. The Switch has a port of DBFZ, Ark Survival Evolve, Mario Tennis Aces, Killer Queen Black, Hollow Knight, Octopath Traveler, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimates.
Now, before we get into the nitty gritty of each of those, or the important ones at least, I heard that Arc System Works is working on a title with Trigger.
Arc System Works is in fact working on a title with Trigger.
And it is speculated to be Kill la Kill.
Maybe. Trigger keeps putting up a timer that's counting down to a day. Arc System Works on the third weekend of every month does a stream called Arc Nama. It's where originally they had been revealing all the characters that were coming up at Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. But now that BB Tag is out, if they're not going to use this Arc Nama to reveal characters, they're probably going to reveal whatever this project is. Or they may do both.
What if it's characters for Blue Cross Blue, not Blue Cross Blue Shield? God, my work is bleeding into my life.
Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle?
Yes.
That'd be cool. They'd be jumping the gun because we still have not 11. We still have 11 characters that were data mined and have yet to be revealed, but they may just be skipping that altogether because they know people data mine the game.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the main meat of it. I think. Is there anything in particular you guys want to talk about before we move on to like big fish like Smash and whatnot?
Well, I mean, Smash was like the only big thing they really showed anyway.
Fire Emblem was pretty big.
I'm excited for Demon X Machina. That's a personal thing. The two of the developers they have on it are from. They worked on Armored Core, which was an old From Software mecha title.
Uh-huh.
And the art, which you have, from what it looked like, it said you had it. The thumbnail of the video looked like it had a character customization, and the art and design for them is done by I think Kozaki is his last name, who works on Fire Emblem. So it looks like a interesting collaboration and maybe a spiritual successor to Armored Core, if any. I never got to play Armored Core, but I watched gameplay of it and that looked hype.
Okay, so the full title for Japanese Fire Emblem is Fuka Setsugetsu.
Yeah, which...
The beauty of nature.
Yeah, which it translates to that, and then it's like actual meaning is something like further than that, and it's...
localization is beautiful.
It's hella colloquial, I guess. Well, not colloquial, I shouldn't say that. It's...
Allegorical?
Maybe. We don't know because we're not Japanese. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally regional locked language idioms.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm excited for Fire Emblem. Is it like the old school Fire Emblem where you're just actually leading single characters, but they just have like a bunch of like NPC models behind them to get the realism of battle, or are you actually attacking as like battalions now? And does that affect the flow of battle?
You're attacking one by one, but you're accompanied by fleets. I haven't. I'm trying to recall gameplay from like anything past. I guess anything past Thracia. I don't remember if you had fleets with you then, but my thoughts were more in line with Advance Wars, where you have units, but then when it shows the battle on screen, like, you know, it's fleets people.
I guess my biggest question, the best way to describe my question would be like, is it aesthetic choices, or is it actually gameplay mechanics to have these units behind you?
Oh, the people are for show, because you're still if you pay a little bit of attention to the gameplay in the overworld map, you're still approaching with single characters, and interactions are still determined by like your weapons and their weapons and stuff like that in correlation with the triangle. So everything is carried out person to person, but I think everyone else is there, just to look cool and fill the screen. Because
a Switch Fire Emblem game is good as shit. That is a good idea.
It came out looking a lot better than I thought it would. I was honestly scared for some kind of like upscale 3DS Fire Emblem, but no, it rivals and probably like bumps up past the Radiant games.
Now, do you think it'll be full price, or do you think it'll be a little bit higher, like $50 than a 3DS game? Because I still expect the amount of content for a 3DS game, but I think the overall presentation would be worthy of a Switch game. So I was thinking maybe a $50 price tag.
I think it'll. What's up?
Any Switch games that are made by first party, what are those prices?
It depends.
It varies. Yeah.
Because they're not consistent, especially online.
Expect a $60 game, bro.
It's 60 on average,
yeah.
But like it does tend to vary depending on the game.
Because they're not like Sony, where it's like either it's $40 or it's $60.
Well, Sony will do 40 if it's like a remake.
Yeah.
And that's why I was saying, like, I don't know, like,
is this a new game or a remake?
It's a new game.
It's a new game, but I was thinking if it was just mostly like the size and content of like a 3DS Fire Emblem, with the graphical enhancements.
I don't think they would. I don't think they would make it for the Switch and not give it the amount of content necessary for the. Even if the rest of the content turned out to be padding, they would still do it. Either they would give it padding, or they would like make it long enough. Because Nintendo still wants to, even though they're going like about it in a weird way, Nintendo still wants to like draw the line between 3DS titles and Switch titles. So I think the mindset towards making this Fire Emblem on the Switch is, it will be a console Fire, because this is the first console Fire Emblem game since
the GameCube stuff.
Well, since Radiant Dawn on the Wii, and that's and that's if you want to throw Tokyo Mirage Sessions out the window. But this is the first console Fire Emblem in a while, so I don't see a reason why they wouldn't go to those lengths to ensure that the content is befitting of a Switch game.
Now,
and they're killing off the 3DS anyway.
Any other games before we move on to Smash that are worthy of note that you wanted to give props to, or at least just talk about in some length?
From what I've read of the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC, because I didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I want to play it. I'm gonna get it at some point and probably run through it. I still need to finish X on the Wii U. But this amount of DLC is supposed to be like pretty expansive, and like I guess kind of someone said DLC that's about as much as an entirely like new game, and I think they may have been exaggerating, but at the same time I think it'll be more than what other RPGs on the Switch have been getting as far as DLC, like in terms of like Fire Emblem DLC and Breath of the Wild. I think this is actually like a significant chunk of content,
like Witcher 3 DLC, Blood and Wine and stuff like that.
Yeah, something to that measure. Not a DLC, but DLC because it's downloadable content, but like actual expansion to the game. And I wanted to commend for that, because that means this game's going to get a lot of mileage in the long run.
Also, while I'm thinking about it, God of War got updated, new game plus coverage, and it will, or at least it will get it in the future. I don't know what made me think about that, but it was like such an afterthought in the conference. I felt like it was only fitting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just thought that was funny. I think I didn't know that Octopath was released. It'll be the next game that I buy. And it's getting a new demo out. I think that came out today.
Comes out tomorrow, the 14th.
Okay, so it comes out tomorrow.
Well, I guess it might be available at midnight.
Either way, I'm downloading it in the morning so that I
Same.
can take it with me to the beach.
It'll probably cover the
First chapters of every character.
I was going to say the recent 2 characters that were introduced in the last direct, because the current demo covers the first chapter of the dancer and the fighter.
Ugh.
So we're probably going to get the rogue and whoever else. At least I think it's a rogue. I don't remember, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you. The thief.
Yeah, the thief. My bad.
So the rogues and thieves are the same thing, basically.
Roughly.
So we've got Smash. It's Smash Ultimate. I won't lie, when I came into that, I wasn't expecting too much because, I've never been a big Smash follower, but I was curious because I definitely would be playing this one now that I own a Switch.
Yeah.
Every single character in the roster, that must have taken a shit ton of phone calls. I saw a tweet of the copyright on the back of the box or whatever, or in the game itself, and it's extremely long and convoluted with all the intellectual properties and companies these games came from.
Don't mistake it for the one that played at the end of the trailer when it was live, because the one that played at the end of the trailer was the copyright list for the entire direct, because you saw Dark Souls listed, and you saw Bethesda listed.
Oh no, I saw this exclusively for Smash. It didn't have anything like that.
Because somebody messed around and saw the end credit, the copyright list for the direct, and thought it was for Smash, and they were like, "Wait, who all are we getting?" And it's slow down, slow your roll.
I think this is amazing because.
Oh yeah.
As a casual fan, at least in my experience, I've always seen how much of a phenomenon Smash games have been as I've grown up. And when Brawl came out, that was the shit at my high school, and everybody was playing it. That was my age, and that was the fun thing to do when people hung out on the weekends or whatever, with at least my guy friend, or at least some of my guy friend groups. So. Seeing and I looked into it back then. I was just okay, well, what's this about? What's the whole point? And I realized that I had played Smash 64 at some point with one of my friends back when I was really young. But seeing these characters that I was kind of disappointed that I would never really see again or get to play as again. I kind of given up on, and that people really enjoyed, Ice Climbers or Snake. Seeing them come back is a breath of fresh air to me, because now I can get into what everybody else was enjoying before, and I can make my own spin on it. And this way, I don't have to worry about sacrificing people that I actually want to play versus playing a game that has people that I can that are readily available to me, because that was the kind of the thing. I always wanted to learn how to play Melee because I saw how much you guys loved it, and I wanted to, but I also saw Smash 4, and Smash 4 had a bigger roster and more characters that I knew and cared about.
Oh, do it.
But this way, it's a combination of all the things that I was interested in, and they've combined mechanics from past games too. So I'm more or less this is a great point for me to jump off as a casual fan that's always been interested but not super dedicated, because I haven't had a Nintendo console in forever. And I asked George, this is for the audience, what is this something that you wanted as a competitive fan and as a diehard? Is this something that you wanted and what you needed?
And I said, hell yeah.
And I wanted him to answer that question.
Well, so throughout my experience playing, even though I don't think I've been I think if I weigh it now, I've been playing like equally casually and competitively for about the same time now. Whereas before, I think I had played casually longer than I had competitively. But that's neither here nor there. As much as I've been playing and through all the games that I have been, I came in contact with like different communities. Like there's a different group of people that play 64, a different group of people that play Melee, Brawl, Project M, Brawl Minus, Smash 4. And I know like around here, I just saw that in chat. Around here specifically, and I guess like over the internet, like the bigger picture for the Smash community, there's a lot of divide when it comes to Melee and Smash 4, just because differing engines and everything. Like people have used the argument, well, it's like, you know, Street Fighter players can move on, BlazBlue, Guilty Gear players can move on, you know, why can't Smash? And it's like when you look at Melee and Smash 4 and even like everything in between the 64 going back, the games like change radically. And it's not radically over time, but like radically just going into the next iteration. So that overlap, that skill set, and the kind of people who play are going to be like radically different, you know. Excuse the same radically like 8 times or whatever. But yeah, this game from what I've looked at in play and what I looked at competitively, I think before the game I was talking about how Nintendo Versus was really hyping this game up after the reveal, and the fact that they were, you know, trying to get into the more competitive side of Nintendo games, not just with Smash, but also with like Pokken and Splatoon, made me think that Nintendo was actually going to start adhering and like kind of catering to some of the needs of the competitive scene. And from seeing some of the things that are in this game, just like old mechanics being brought back from as far as Melee, a sped up game, but a lot of quality of life changes. Like you choose stage first before your character, because when you do sets, you stage strike and ban stages and everything, and stuff like there's a square on the HUD so you can see how close you are to the blast zones and meters and these kind of things. And the fact that there's an option to add and take away names from like the CSS character select screen. That way you're not having to unplug and replug controllers, and there's even an option for desyncs. Like they made this to be a tournament game. And the Invitational kind of like emphasized that even furthermore. And it was crazy because there was always this impression that, you know, Sakurai hated the competitive community, and he's even said things like, well, you know, if you're trying to like play a fighting game, like why don't you play something like Virtual Fighter or whatever? Just kind of being like, you want to play a fighting game, play a fighting game. But, you know, he got on stage at the Invitational and was talking about the kind of work he had been putting in and how good the players were, and the team for the game had been like really receptive to competitive feedback from players. Go ahead.
I just, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to ask a quick question.
Yeah.
Is the Western competitive scene way bigger than Japan's competitive scene for this game?
Well, don't know for this game because it's not out.
Well, I mean, for the franchise in general.
For the franchise, it varies. Melee definitely has a larger presence over here. But I wouldn't say that Smash 4's presence is bigger in Japan so much as there are a lot more Smash 4 players in Japan than there are Melee. And then as far as games like Project M go, it's
all bets are off.
You only hear about it so little in Japan, and it's like obviously there's some here, but of course we all go into hiding because, you know, we want Nintendo kicking down our door, taking us to jail. Reggie to beat us with the brass knuckles, you know what I'm saying? So,
this game is fun.
This game is fun. You should play this game. But yeah, just how receptive the team has been, and the fact that, you know, for the Invitational they got Melee players and Smash 4 players, an even number of them, and both of them enjoy the game and are really into it. Makes me think that this is not only a game they made for the competitive crowd, but a game they wanted to like. They want this to be their esport game. They want this to bridge the gap, and they kind of want everybody to play it.
Is it true? Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's what a friend of mine and I were talking about. We were like, everybody's gonna play this game. Everybody won't come off of Melee PM Smash 4 to like make this game their primary. But we're gonna see like so much varied competition, and I think that's a good thing because it's gonna be that thing to bring everybody together.
And now that I have access to Smash, I'll be able to practice and build off of you like I built off of Shelly with Storm Games.
There you go.
So I'm excited.
Hey Brian,
what?
You still play Smash on 3DS?
No, I sold that game a long time ago. That's because it was a 3DS, Shelly.
And
the game was really only worth playing on console.
Same thing.
I don't think it's the same thing.
Still a handheld.
But
get you a man who can do both.
As a casual player, I'm excited for the prospect of just learning new things and actually finally getting a chance to play Smash regularly and not be, held back by a handheld like a original 3DS.
Like this game.
I think that Smash 4 was very interesting for me, but like I said, everybody was playing it on Wii U, and I didn't have a Wii U, and I never went over to Ari's or anyone's house enough to play it on the reg. And I never had anybody to really bounce off fights with to get better with it. I was just playing people at the same skill level.
Like that.
And it's not that it wasn't fun because I did enjoy doing it, but I wasn't getting that much better, and I wasn't having like high level competitive play. And like finding my own like niche within the series as far as a character goes. I was finding a main basically that wasn't Zero Suit Samus. I just read something, and this is on Twitter. We're going back to Kingdom Hearts just for a sec.
That's 11.
Basically, Nomura has stated that both Star Wars and Marvel properties would be very hard to include in Kingdom Hearts 3. And this is a cynical, the cynical and the Gamers Joint, same person, at the Gamers Joint on Twitter, reporting this. And I replied, I replied saying he's just saying that because he's great at saying, I don't think we can do it, and then immediately doing it in the next announcement.
He didn't say, I don't think we can do it. He said it'd be hard.
Yeah, that means he's done it.
Herring.
That is exactly how he operates, and I know this man's style. If it doesn't happen, whatever, but I fully expect it to be announced within the next few trailers.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as Smash go, like I'm just in awe of like how nice they're being about making this game. Like they went in and they said, okay, what can we do to make a good game? And instead of doing what he wanted to do, Sakurai, he did what the fans wanted, and he just took stock and looked at everything and looked at the whole competitive scene as a whole, and the casual scene. He's like, you know what? Fuck making a new game. Let's just bring in all the characters from past games and just make it
Waluigi.
And make it
except Waluigi. Well, Waluigi's an assist trophy. That's about it.
Was Waluigi ever playable?
No, never.
Then it's fine.
11 years of disrespect.
Oh, why stop now?
Yeah.
I think that that's a great way to go about making a game because it's not a true port. It is this new game, obviously, because they're overhauling a lot of stuff in systems, and technically, like, there's enough changes for it to qualify as its own separate entity, I think. But it's done in a way that, like, they have new characters. They're not reusing all of their assets. They obviously are using Smash 4 as a base, like you said earlier.
Well, I mean, that's just been my response to people when they're like, is it a port or is it a new game? And I'm like, it's every game.
Yeah, that's
what it is. It's every game.
Do you think this will be the last title?
I think so.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, I don't think this
where
is
do you
gonna
go after you include everyone?
Everyone, and then he's still adding more people. In
Yeah.
fact, he added for this one, we got everybody back, and then added Daisy,
Daisy and Ridley.
Ridley, and then the Inkling.
Oh yeah, that's
And,
right. With Inkling too.
The website states a roster of 66 characters, but then when you go and run down everybody, including when you include Echo Fighters and like Pokemon Trainer, there are only 65. So we're still due for another reveal at some point. The person who leaked like everything and got it right had one more link that hadn't been confirmed, and he was saying Simon Belmont. And I'm like, hey, maybe. I don't know. Konami's been wanting to get money. We got Snake back.
I have a question.
I might have an answer.
Is Charizard a separate character, or is he a part of Pokemon Trainer now?
Charizard is a part of Pokemon Trainer again, but he still retains Flare Blitz from Smash 4 as his side B.
So does he have all of his old moveset?
He has everything he had in Smash 4 besides Rock Smash, which was his old down B.
So now down B switches the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I can deal with that.
Sure.
And that was like my one question, because I was like, I feel like Charizard may not happen, but also happen in some capacity. Who are you most excited to play as? Besides Link.
Or Sonic.
I got 3 Links, bruh. Because they brought back a Young Link from Melee.
What is Young Link's difference?
So it's not what Young Link's difference is, it's what Link's difference is, because they updated Link to his Breath of the Wild model. So the hook shot / claw shot he had for his grab isn't a thing anymore. He has a completely different grab animation. He has a differing set of weapons from his last iteration because it's Breath of the Wild. So like his down B bombs are now the remote bombs from the Sheikah Slate. He can now shoot 2 arrows at once via like the Lionel bow or whatever other bow in the game allows you to do it.
I still want that recovery to be a stamina gauge.
No, thank you. I need his up B to stay the same. And his side B, they took away the Gale Boomerang because he didn't have it in Breath of the Wild. So it may just be another Boomerang. I need to go back and look. But because of all those changes to Adult Link, Young Link is pretty much back to take the place that the old Link took. So he still has the hook shot, he still has the normal bombs and all of that.
And now he has Lon Milk for recovery. Or is that a taunt?
That's a taunt.
Okay.
But yeah, so Adult Link kind of moved on, and then Young Link kind of fills that spot, and then Toon Link is just the same.
And then,
but with different normals instead of different specials because of the character model.
Is it true that someone played a Bayonetta at the Invitational and proved how busted she was?
MKLeo played Bayonetta at the Invitational and pretty much just did Smash 4 stuff. Like he did the whole side B, witch twist forward air, side B in the air, witch twist again, and up air them off the top. And Sakurai was watching the tournament and he shook his head. And when he got on stage to talk about it afterwards, he was like, okay, reminder, nobody panic. The game's not finished. There's still a bunch of stuff I had to fix. And while he was like kind of being general, we were all joking that he's talking about Bayonetta because she's still just nuts.
Because did he actually shake his head? Can I get that on video?
Nobody has it on video. It's like reports from people who are at the Invitational.
I can imagine that shit-eating grin he had. He's like, I made this character broken for a reason, and now I have to change it.
Nah, there was no grin. He was like,
ugh.
God, she can still do this. And so that's going to get fixed. Because, I mean, he knows how big Bayonetta, he knows how big of a problem Bayonetta was before. And she actually had gotten nerfed in some regard before the tournament. But the fact that she's still capable of all that shows that he'll pretty much have to clip her legs.
Just give her a new moveset, dude.
Mm-mm. Wouldn't be no point to do that. You won't be able to. You wouldn't have anything to replace it with. Characters like Bayo, Ryu, and Cloud were like made with the intent to stay like hella faithful to the source material. And he's also very particular about his designs, even though he's kind of been bending for the sake of we're bringing everybody back and everything. When it comes to his characters, he's still like, look, these are decisions I want to make, and it would take like.
Is that what happened with Wii Fit Trainer?
That wasn't what happened with Wii Fit Trainer. He didn't want to change the face, but the Wii Fit devs were like,
please.
yeah, no, that's what I was about to get to. It would have to take like somebody knocking
at his door.
To it. So
you just like blanked completely for a bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that's it. We've covered the entirety of the streams that we missed. Or we didn't talk about yet.
As a note, Metroid Prime 4 is in that same state that Breath of the Wild was about. I think because Switch came out last year, right?
Yeah. In March.
Not 2 years ago. 3 years ago when it got shown, they spoke to Bill Trinen, and Bill Trinen was like, well, we could show Metroid, but y'all know it's not coming out this year. So we wanted to show stuff that was coming out next year. And I think like the latest trailer they had, like the latest game they showed was Demon X Machina, which is like sometime early next year or something like that. So they were like, we have Metroid stuff, but we don't want to show it to you.
Pre-alpha gameplay.
Yeah, we don't want to show it to you if it's not coming soon. And they had a few other titles like that. I think, Bayonetta 3 comes to mind. That'll probably show at Gamescom, though.
At least they're not showing pre-rendered footage that looks like gameplay like Kingdom Hearts 3 did.
Yeah. So, while we were, for the most part, expecting those games, we being like me and some other people, I don't know if y'all were, the fact of the matter was they didn't want to get anybody's hopes up and then be like, well, okay, y'all have to wait forever still. So that's what those games are doing right now.
Well,
which is why IGN was like, yes, Metroid still is in development. Like, nobody needed verification on that. We could assume that just from it not being there.
Well, everybody, that is a stream. We've been at this for 2 hours. I hope you all enjoyed our reactions and agree with some of our opinions. Be patient. I think the first game that I'm going to be buying is going to be the Octopath game. And then after that, we're just going to have to see as they release. But everybody, I hope you had a great E3. I hope you saw most everything or everything that you wanted. I hope that you were surprised by like some surprise announcements and enjoy them. And go out, play some games. Go buy a Switch.
Play Skullgirls, definitely.
Definitely.
But
Kingdom Hearts 3 is great. There, I said it 13 times.
13.
Look at you. 13, and I made it a bit. We can end the cast now.
I hope you know you've killed me.
Good.
So take a shot for every time you said it. How'd you like that? My blood is on your hands.
Well, that's your decision, man. I just try to make it funny.
You suck.
It's great. Go play Skullgirls.
Yeah. Or Indivisible when it comes out, because that's also a Lab Zero game.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Go play Smash.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's not out yet.
Play a different
Any other Smash.
Literally,
play it on 3DS, guys.
Any of them will get you ready. Play Street Fighter on 3DS.
Play Mario Kart.
Play Street Fighter Alpha 3 on
Play Mario Kart so that I don't have to.
Well, I don't think it was Alpha 3. Anyway, play Street Fighter on the Game Boy Advance. Do that.
Play
Tekken Advance.
Play PT.
Ooh.
Play Pachinko.
Okay, so I saw all those cutscenes and bruh,
What cutscenes?
exactly.